Hi everyone, back at the More YouTube channel. It's Chris back with the match preview for Newcastle United's game this weekend. 3 o'clock kickoff down at Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace. Another one of them teams where we look like we're going to be favourites on paper, just like West Ham the other night, but we ain't taking nothing for granted after that performance on Monday. We're going to talk about how we think the team's going to line up, a little bit about the game, a little bit about the warning signs or the worries from the other team, and how we think it's going to go, really. So just before we do, if you like this kind of thing, smash subscribe, help get us to 9k. We're really close to it, with 70 odd or something before 9k. I'd love to get there by the end of the year, guys, so smash that button and help get us there. Really appreciate it. Right, so Crystal Palace, here we go. Crystal Palace are kind of in the bottom end of the Premier League. They've not had a great start to the season. Got a decent manager I like, Glasner. I think he's a good manager. They've got some good players. They're missing some key players. I think Adam Wharton's a big miss for them in this game. Really good young midfielder. I don't know why Newcastle didn't even make a sniff around him, to be fair, but he wouldn't even get a game probably ahead of Sean Longstaff, would he? More on that in a second. But he's injured, so he's out. And the worrying thing for me with Palace really is that Eze is back in training. He could be involved. Now, whether that's off the bench or whether that's starting, this is a really talented player who could really cause us trouble. The good thing is Dan Burn is back from his one-match suspension against West Ham. He'll go straight back into the team, and that's how I think we're going to line up. I don't think Eddie Howe is going to change a goddamn thing except for Dan Burn at centre-half in place of Lloyd Kelly, who had a minger against West Ham. If it was me, I would start Sandro Tonali in midfield, and I'd probably even give Harvey Barnes a shout in the front three, possibly on the right-hand side, and just see what happens there. Bring Joelinton back into midfield alongside Bruno Guimaraes, who probably will play, as Eddie says he would be involved. But, Joe Willock and Bruno, Eddie says have got a chance. And that, to me, tells me that Eddie will just pick the same team, with the exception of Dan Burn coming back. He seems to be obsessed with playing Sean Longstaff in midfield, whether he's had a good game or not. He almost seems to be undroppable in the eyes of Eddie Howe at the minute. I've given up even second guessing it, give up even thinking about it. For some reason, Sandro Tonali will not start games like this where we're probably going to have more of the ball. And this will be exactly what this game will be like. It'll be like the West Ham game. Palace will say, go on Newcastle, break us down. And, we'll probably tip over again because we don't seem to be able to do that because Eddie Howe's not playing the players to do that. Against West Ham, the player who's probably the best on the ball was left back, Lewis Hall, who will play this game as well. I've seen some people shouting for Trips to come in, his crossing ability, all that kind of stuff. Let's get it right. Trips' crossing was a bit woeful before he went off injured anyway, a bit out of form, whether Father Time's catching up to him when it was off the field problems, I don't know. But yeah, this is a really tricky game for me, I think, going down to Selhurst Park. And, off the back of the great results before the international break, I would have been full of confidence, but after watching us be crap against West Ham, really, and so many problems with that starting 11, in my opinion, that against teams like this, it isn't against Liverpool, who we've got next Wednesday. We'll probably put in a shift against them, and the kind of game at St James's Park we might actually win, but it's games like this. It's against the Palaces, the Bournemouths, the Fulhams, the Evertons, the West Hams, the teams that are kind of in and around you, or in the lower tier of the Premier League where Newcastle don't want to be. They're the ones we struggle to break down, and I think largely it's because of the manager's inability to change the team and realise that something different is needed for that game. He was asked in a press conference, about Sandro Tonali, and he just said, if he keeps, impressing, he'll force his way into the side and all that kind of stuff. And he literally took the words out of most Newcastle United fans' mouths who can't understand why Tonali's not getting more game time. He said he come on against Forest, it was 1-1. We won that game 3-1, and Sandro Tonali played his part in both of the goals, and he still can't get a game in the next game against West Ham. Sean Longstaff straight back into the team. And this is not an I hate Sean thing before anyone starts giving me jip in the comments. I know Sean has a lot of people who stick up for him, and he's a lovely lad. I always say that. He's a real role model for young players coming through the academy in the region and stuff like that. But there's certain games that Sean's just not kitted out for. West Ham was one, and this will be another as well. If it was up to me, I'd start Tonali, but he won't do it. He'll start Sean alongside Bruno and Joe Willock in midfield. He'll keep Joelinton probably on the right-hand side, Gordon on the left, and Isak through the middle. And it's just getting a bit boring, that he just doesn't seem to change anything. Whether we win, lose or draw, he sticks to the same team. If there's been mistakes in the last game and we've stunk out the ground, he doesn't change the team. And I'm just getting a bit bored of it, really. There's no variation from this manager. There's no ability to realise something that isn't really working. He just keeps doing the same thing, hoping that it'll turn for the good. And for me, I'm just a bit bored of it. I really am. And I think this game's going to be a draw, to be honest with you. I think Newcastle are going to get a score draw out of this, 1-1 or 2-2 if they're lucky. I'm not feeling confident. I really am not. It reeks of one of them stinking games down in London. A ground that we've not really had great success, over a long period of time. Yeah, we had a couple of decent results over a few years, but generally, We haven't had great trips down to London, and I just feel that the manager will stubbornly pick the same team, and I don't think it'll be the right team for the occasion, and I'm going for a draw. I'd love to say Newcastle win this game, and on paper and the quality players that we have versus them, we should win this game, but football's not played on paper, is it? And I just think for me, this is going to be a draw all day long. 1-1 is probably my take on it. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Another thing that came from the press conference as well, I think somebody asked about Louis Miley. And again, this blows my mind. And nobody will challenge Eddie Howe on this from the fan base. And I'm going to challenge him on it because I don't understand why. He says Louis Miley needs game time, so he's left him with under 21s. And I get he's coming back from a long spell out, right? But what in the name of Christ is Matt Targett going to do off the bench as a squad member on that pitch? You've got Kieran Trippier on the bench, you've got Tino Livramento, and you've got Lewis Hall on the pitch. So there's 3 fullbacks there, and Jacob Murphy, who's also on the bench, can fill in at fullback. Why do we need another fullback? Why do we need Matt Targett? Why can't Louis Miley be on the bench to give us something in midfield? A lad who's got a pass in him, a lad who's looked really good last season. And I'm starting to worry about what he's doing to Louis Miley's development. I really am, with this unwavering support and willingness to play Sean Longstaff ahead of a £55 million Italian international, let alone a wonder kid coming through the ranks. Is Louis Miley going to end up being the next Elliot Anderson, and we're going to sell him for 35-40 million quid and cash in to balance PSR and FFP, and then keep Sean and sign him on a 5-year contract? I wouldn't put it past this manager. I really wouldn't. And it's starting to really bug me. It's starting to really irk me why quality players can't get into this starting 11 even after crap games like the West Ham game. I'm sorry if this sounds negative, guys, but I'm getting really frustrated by this manager and by his stubborn tactics. So yeah, for me, I think we'll be unchanged except Dan Burn coming back, and I'm going for a 1-1 draw. So let us know in the comments below, guys, what you think. Are you feeling confident about this game? Are you like me? Are you a little bit fed up of just the same old crap week in, week out by the manager, the same old players, same old performances, same old excuses? Happy birthday, by the way, Eddie Howe. Sorry about that. I missed that at the start. I will be pleasant to say happy birthday to him. 47 he is. My God, he looks younger than me, and I'm younger than him, believe it or not. This is what sales does to you. My God, it ages you. But yeah, that's my take on it, guys. Let us know in the comments below what you think. We always like to hear from you. Like and subscribe. Help the channel grow. I'll be back with a live post-match analysis of the game on Saturday, and I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope Newcastle have won comfortably and get back to the kind of football we were playing before the break. But I really have my doubts, guys. Have a cracking weekend. We'll see you soon. Cheers.